Welcome back, guys, to another gift talk. Here to talk nerdy stuff with you. Today I'm going to be doing 3 movie reviews. The first one I think I'll review is Thor Ragnarok. Now, I'll also be doing the Justice League, and then I'll be doing a special movie review. I just got done watching it, and felt it. This might be an interesting way of doing things. I'm going to be reviewing an old movie that came out quite a while back, but still pretty good. That's number 42, the Jackie Robinson story. But I'll leave that one till last. Now, as you know, I don't do non-spoiler reviews, so if you haven't seen any of these 3 movies, Thor Ragnarok, Justice League, or Jackie Robinson 42, please go away and come back, watch the video again. But let's get started. It's been a while since I've been on. I do apologize. I've been super busy, and I know I'm really late to reviewing all 3 of these movies, especially Robinson. But alright, well, Thor Ragnarok, I thought it was a good movie. And yes, I'm doing a Marvel and DC together. I'm neither a Marvel fanboy, neither am I a DC fanboy. I love all comics. I think Marvel has a stronger head in the movies industry. I think DC definitely has better in the cartoons, and in comics I think they're actually pretty dead even. And of course right now Netflix, Marvel is ruling that, but I am not biased anyway. If you look at my stuff, you'll see that I have both Batman, and I have the Incredible Hulk, fist right there. If you go back to my room tours, you'll see that I have plenty of Marvel with DC stuff. But to get on with this, I thought Thor Ragnarok was good. There was some issues that I had with it, but it wasn't enough to keep me from saying I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy this movie. I thought it was very good. I definitely think it's the best out of the 3 Thors, although I do believe the very first Thor is quick on its heels. That one's going to have a special place in my heart just because I love the story and the villain and just the way they told it. So definitely like that one. But this one, it was a little bit more lighthearted. It's fresh off the heels of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and it shows. The 80s kind of retroness, the music, the jokes, the humor, it definitely stole quite a bit of what made Guardians of the Galaxy so good. But unfortunately, it also stole a little of what made Guardians of the Galaxy, unfortunately, not that good. And before anybody gets angry, I'll explain it, and hopefully I can do it in a way where you will be still talking to me. But the plain and simple fact is that, yes, it had great jokes, it had great things. Most of it was improv, from what I understand. I found that some of the jokes were a little forced, but most of them were pretty good. So we can overlook that and say that was a good thing. Definitely for the cartoon, or for the movie. A lot of the cameos were just amazing. We have Matt Damon. He played Loki in the play. Also in the play was Sam Nielsen. We know him from Jurassic Park. He played Odin in the play. And then if the Thor looked very familiar, that is because that is Luke Hemsworth, Liam and Chris's youngest brother. So that was pretty cool to see his cameos. They also had Doctor Strange in it. That was pretty sweet to have him. And they added some new characters. Tessa did a pretty good job at being Valkyrie. Not the Valkyrie we know, but I like how they explain that, because we're used to, a blonde, very tall, just the defenders of Valkyrie. And I don't mind that they switched it up, because they explained it so well. Is that the Valkyries are actually a force, a force of women who, or a group of women who are called Valkyries. They end up fighting as one. It's a special unit of only women. They have special armor, they have special weapons, and so Valkyrie can actually take on many women of all different things. So, yes, the one we know from the comic books is still there, but Tessa Thompson actually did a rather good job. So, really happy about that one. Jeff Goldblum playing. Oh crap! I can't remember what character he played. I mean, I know what character he played. I just can't remember the name of it. But anyway, he did a really good job. If you love Jeff Goldblum, you know he goes over the top. So he did a really good job at there. Even, when he wasn't on screen, he did a really good job. I love that part where the ship, where it's like, it's your birthday. And it's just all the fireworks going off. And it was definitely funny. Some of the humor that I kind of begrudgingly disliked. And this is where I would explain humor can be good, a force for good. In many places it worked really well in this film. But there was a character that's in the arena. His name is Krunk. No, not Krunk. I can't remember his name now. He's the giant rock monster, and my mind is slipping. I've had a very long day. I do apologize. I keep saying that, but I'm starting to think I'm losing my mind in some ways. But he sits there, and the first thing he says to Thor is, "Hey, you want to join my revolution? I was a revolutionist once. I was a leader of a revolution. I just I didn't print out enough pamphlets, so it was just me, my sister, and her boyfriend, who I really don't like. But you want to join my revolution?" And it actually, having read Planet Hulk and that character, he was a very tough, very serious character, very strong character, and in a way, I kind of felt the same way I did when when they introduced, Batista's character in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's supposed to be a very serious person. And he's supposed to be a tactician and a one-man army. And here they made him, in Guardians of the Galaxy, they made him this idiot who didn't understand jokes, and everything was like going over his head, and he's like, my reflexes are too fast. It's like, it kind of ruined the character for me. And actually reading the comics, it took away the joy of that character. And it's like, were we too dumb to comprehend what that character was supposed to be? Were we too dumb to understand that Drax the Destroyer is a mastermind? He's the person who ended Thanos in the comics. He's killed him, I think, twice now. He was made and built to be a tactician, to be, a leader, to come up with a plan and execute it to the perfect degree. And Zoe Saldana, her character, is supposed to be the most dangerous woman in the universe. And she, in the movie, they made her feel like a child. So when you have, it's like they don't think we're smart enough. And this is only my ramblings, my thinking, but it's almost, they don't think us smart enough to accept the comic version. They need us to be constantly laughing, constantly enjoying, or realize that these people are idiots. You know, even Star-Lord is supposed to be, yes, he's carefree and he's jokey, but he's also very intelligent. He's also a man with a plan. Rocket is a freaking genius in the comics. He's smarter than Tony Stark by far. And Tony Stark is considered one of the smartest men on Earth. You know, it's just Groot is supposed to be pretty much the same powerfulness as the Incredible Hulk. And again, we're not getting these characters. They dumb them down. They take them apart, and yes, they make them more likable. Baby Groot, I love Baby Groot. He's very funny. He's very enjoyable. He brings some of the best parts to the movie, but I guess it's almost, for me, somewhat insulting that they don't think that we are capable of taking the real character for what they are. But I've had to come to terms with this, and I'll have to do it with Thor Ragnarok, because they've done some of that. You know, Meek and I still can't remember the rock creature's name. You know, these were warriors. You know, Meek was at first in the comics. He's one of the original inhabitants of the world. The Red, King has taken the planet away from him. Said they're children. They don't know what to do with it. So he's just trying to survive. And the Rock guy, he the first battle they have is against his brothers, who he thought they were dead. And he then has to go and make that thought a reality. And he's very serious, he's very tough. This man, before the Hulk comes to the gladiatorial games, he is the one holding the team together. Now they look up to Hulk, and he's his right-hand man. This is the guy I put my trust in. So again, to have him and again, it's the director's voice who's playing this character. If that's the vision that they had for him, I guess that's okay, but still, it seems like somewhat of a betrayal. So I have to look at these movies and go, they're another dimension from the comics, and that's still a bit hard for me. So I seem like I'm ragging on Thor Ragnarok. I really did enjoy this movie. I thought Carl Urban, Kate Blanche, Tom Hiddleston, he did a great job. Chris Hemsworth, again, does a really great job. I know that in the comics, Thor does lose an eye. It was because he gives it up for knowledge. And I don't know the circumstances. I haven't read the comics. One of my friends at work told me this story because I asked. I says, does he ever lose an eye? He goes, oh yes, he loses it for knowledge. On the pursuit of knowledge that will save his planet. So, still, I think everybody did a great job. I really thought that, these actors did an outstanding job. And again, I think this Thor is still the best out of all the three. I really did enjoy it. So, if you want to go see Thor, just take your mind out of the comics and focus on the movie, and you should enjoy it because it is really very funny. It does bring back some nostalgia. I love the Willy Wonka, as he's going and going to meet the Master, which is Jeff Goldblum's character. Him and the Hulk just getting together, and then, Bruce Banner. Their little, back and forth is very funny. And again, they just have such an amazing thing. And the ending, I like the ending where, you find out that the one thing he stopped at the beginning, Suitor taking the world over, I like that they had to allow that to be Helena. Which, by the way, just a bit of information, in the comics, Helena is actually Loki's daughter instead of being his sister. Thor and, Loki's sister. I did kind of like that. And then I love that they answered the why does Odin have the Infinity Gauntlet with all the gems in it when Hela just pushed it over, goes, fake. That's not real. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, again, I give it a definitely a 7 out of a 10. I may even be willing to go 8 out of 10. I just thought it was a really solid movie. I just had those little things that kind of grated on my comic book self. So I'll have to learn how to separate them, comic book movies. So no big deal. Now we go to Justice League. Justice League, again, I thought this was a decent movie. The main issue, and I'll get this out right away, is I wasn't all that keen on Flash. Yes, he was the comedic thing, but he was also supposed to be the heart, the soul, and I really didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I found it hard to actually care about him. Especially with the way they went. I think they tried to add a little of Barry Allen and a little bit of Kid Flash and mash it together to make one character. And in truth, I don't think it worked all that well. Now, Cyborg, Aquaman, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, they all gave solid performances. They Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, they've been established. But when they brought out Cyborg, it's almost as he fit in. He never was missing. We just didn't see him in the movie, the earlier movies. It's like he was never missing. He had so much good chemistry. And let's face it, when Jason Momoa walks into any film, whether it's Atlantis or whether it's Conan the Barbarian, whether it's Justice League, he steals the show. And he really makes the role his own. He brings this energy, this enjoyableness. The guy is just amazing. And he actually comes from Iowa, where the state where I'm from. And, just to have an Iowan be able to do that. We actually have 3 in the DC universe. We have Jason Momoa's Aquaman, obviously. We have Brandon Routh, who plays Adam in the Arrow series and the Flash. And then he's also in Legends of Tomorrow. I think that's where he is right now. And then we have the guy who plays Penguin in Gotham. They're all from Iowa. So Iowa's a good state for DC characters. And, it's just an amazing, he was an amazing character. I love that part where he's sitting on the lasso of truth and he's pouring his heart out, and then Batman's like, it's, that thing right there. And he pulls out the lasso and, and then he threatens Flash. You tell anybody I said any of this, I will sick piranhas on you. And Flash is like, I didn't hear anything except we're all gonna die. So, just saying. That made me laugh. And then the way they did Superman's story, of him coming back, him not understanding what happened to him, him, being jarred back to life, and really just going all beast mode on Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman, and Flash. I love that part where he's like holding 3 or 4 characters, down, and Flash is running around him. and all of a sudden you see his eye just turn, and Flash eyes get bigger, and he's about to get hit, and they start fighting at high speed. That was amazing. I really like that. Steppenwolf, I found his character pretty easily. I understood why he was doing what. He was a disgraced general. He was the invading army general of Darkseid. He failed thanks to a collaboration of, the humans, the Atlanteans, and the Amazons, including some other stuff that I'll talk about in a minute. But he got beat by these groups. He was defeated, so Darkseid banished him, would not let him come back. He wants his position back. He wants to join the New Gods, which is actually a comic book series. Darkseid is one of them, and there's a bunch of other superheroes and villains in the New Gods. So that was a little nod. I liked that. And of course, in the battle, you see a Greek man dressed up as and controlling lightning. I think that might have been a little subtle nod to Shazam. I know there's a movie with Zachary Levi, who was in Thor Ragnarok, actually died. His character died in Thor Ragnarok. He was one of the Warriors 3. He'll be playing Shazam, and then the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will actually be playing Black Adam, the villain. So that's definitely a movie I really want to see. The only thing I'm a little worried about is Zachary Levi he's not by any means a small man, but he doesn't bulk up, or you haven't seen him bulk up. I know in Chuck he did a lot of his own stunts. And he, at the end of it, he started to get a little bit bigger, but not anything that's going to infuse Greek god. So I'm kind of curious to see how Zachary Levi is going to do it. But let's go back to JLA. We also saw a Green Lantern die, the ring floating off to find a new suitable, Green Lantern. I really like that. I thought it was a great representation. I am looking forward to seeing who's going to play Green Lantern, and see how that movie goes, because while I didn't mind it, the last one was kind of a disappointment. So, and then, let's see, was there anything else I wanted to talk about this? I know I enjoyed, the JLA movie. I'll definitely have to give it a 7 out of a 10. While there was a lot of good things and a lot of enjoyableness, I found it a little hard to give it any higher than that, because I still feel there was something missing out of it, and I can't explain it. I did think the end credit scenes were really good. And seeing Deathstroke in it was pretty good. Lex Luthor threatening to bring his own Injustice League. That I'm really happy about that. But and I forgot to mention that Thor Ragnarok, its end credit scenes I found them a little lackluster. I did think it was pretty cool. Later on, I read a James Gunn, where he actually, an interview with him, where he actually says that the giant ship that looms out of the darkness towards that ship that they're all on is actually Thanos' home ship. And we all know that Loki takes the Tesseract out of Thor or Odin's treasure room. So who knows? Maybe that explains why in Infinity War trailer Thor's floating through space and ends up getting hit by the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I do mean like bug on the windshield hit. I am looking forward to seeing that trailer again. Hopefully this time a little better quality. So, but that's Thor Ragnarok and Justice League, both equally good, but you know, I had my qualms with both movies. Now I'll move on to Jackie Robinson. Um, I just got done watching it, and you know, with Harrison Ford, I I call him the grumpy actor nowadays because he always seems really, really ticked off when he plays a character. And I actually have the case here because I wanted to make sure. But that Chadwick Boseman, he actually plays Black Panther in the Marvel series. He does an amazing job of depicting Jackie Robinson and going through what he has. I mean, this is, if you like baseball, and I've played baseball, obviously not professionally, just, you know, friendly games at church, you know, lunches or whatever, or just group settings. But I like it. I think it's a good game. I think it's an enjoyable game. But you know, for what Jackie Robinson did to the game, changing history and Harrison Ford's character and just a lot of the other characters that came, it was just amazing. You know, one of the things that really kind of struck me as being odd is you have the manager for the Philadelphia baseball team, and he has to, the actor being from Firefly, I can't remember his name right off the bat, but he had to literally use the N-word like 40 or 50 times. Maybe an exaggeration, but that's how many it seemed. And he said it made him physically ill to do it. He wanted to play the part. He wanted to be a part of this film, but it made him physically ill to use the word. And it's sad that race is such an issue today. You know, we still have it. We're still having the same problems. We may not have segregated bathrooms. We may not be having different entrances for blacks and whites anymore. But racism is still there. It's still here. And I'm not saying I'm racist. I'm not saying my family is. But in Iowa, in Missouri, in New York, in Boston, everywhere, you know, in my workplace, in, you know, at the mall, at the, you know, movie theater, all this, racism is still alive. And here, unfortunately, I thought it had been killed off, it had been dead. And it surprised me that it was still alive. And this story, it's about how you deal with it. And how you know, you can stop it. You can stand up against it. Whether you're black or whether you're white. There's quite a few of Jackie's teammates who had to stand up because he couldn't. You know, he was under a microscope in such a way that if he even screwed up just a little, just a fraction, you know, the press would have been all over him. You know, they would have chastised him. They would have ended his career. They would have made him the villain in a heartbeat. Even between heartbeats, you know, the millisecond between heartbeats. That's how fast they would have made him the villain. So he couldn't stand up for himself. And it was definitely enjoyable to see his teammates, played by some very good actors, you know, stand up for him when he couldn't. And yeah, there was some awkward moments. You know, the one guy wanted, well, you should come shower with me. I mean, that didn't come out right. Us, them as a, you know, team, and you know, Jackie's like, shut up, man. You know, even through those awkward moments, and there's some humor in here, and there's some story, you know, Jackie Robinson get asked, what happens if a pitcher throws a baseball at your head? Jackie goes, well, I'm gonna duck, and just to diffuse verbal bombs like that. I think we can honestly take so much from this movie, but it is so well done. It is so well portrayed. The acting is really good. It's just an amazing movie. So, you know what, guys? It's getting late. I'm very tired, but I hope you enjoyed these 3 reviews. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments, even if you have I hate this, you need to quit, all that kind of stuff, I want to hear it. Any kind of response, it almost goes crazy about it, because that means you guys watched, that means you guys listened, and you wouldn't believe how appreciative of that is. I am. I appreciate it. So, well, thank you guys again. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. And please recommend it to your friends. I try to make videos as much as possible. I do with a new house, and first year of marriage just got done. I am very busy, but I want to make time for this, because this is something I've always wanted to do. Since I was like 9, 10, seeing these videos. This is definitely something I wanted to do. Share my love, my passion for all this. Movies, video games, comics, everything. I wanted to share that with you guys. Give me one more minute. Oops. I actually picked up a new movie, and I just knocked over some of my toys. I just picked up a new thing that I thought was pretty cool. Let me quickly get the tag off this. Yeah. I picked up the metal case of Wizard of Oz 3D. So I'll show you the inside, the back. Yeah, I actually picked this up for $3. I found it at a thrift store just waiting there. And I love the Wizard of Oz, and for a steelbook and for a 3D movie, it was pretty good. But so guys, I gotta get going. Again, like if you like, subscribe if you want to see more. And guys, as always, be you. Enjoy movies, video games, comics. Don't let anybody stop you. Enjoy what you're passionate about. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.